At the end of October, Fiona's electricity meter reads 88,738 kilowatt hours. At the end of November, her electricity meter reads 89,198 kilowatt hours. Each kilowatt hour of electricity Fiona uses costs 16p. Work out how much Fiona had to pay for the electricity she used in November. Okay, so I know that this can be quite confusing. Perhaps you don't know quite what an electricity meter is and how you read it. So it's something that basically counts the amount of electricity you use in your home, and it gets displayed on a meter. Now, you need to firstly subtract these two numbers to find out essentially how much she used between October and November. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract these numbers. Now, you can see that in October it was 88,738 and in November it was 89,198. So I'm going to do that bigger number on the top, obviously, and I'm going to take away the lower number. And indeed, if you think about it, you are going to take away the November, you're going to take away the October from the November because, time has moved forward when you're in November, so you've used more. So if I subtract those, 8 take away 8 is 0. 9 take away 3 is 6. 1 take away 7 I can't do, so I'm going to borrow from here. That drops down to an 8. This becomes 11. 11 take away 7 is 4. 8 take away 8 is 0. And 8 take away 8 is 0. Okay, so she used 460 units. And you would get a mark just for that. 460 units. Okay, but now we're told that it costs 16p per unit, per kilowatt hour used. So I need to now multiply this by 16, okay? So I need to multiply this by 16. Now you can use whichever method you are confident doing with multiplication. I'm going to show you two methods. So I'm going to use the column method first. So you're doing 460 multiplied by 16. So the first thing I'm going to do is 0 multiplied by 6. Well, anything multiplied by 0 is 0. 6 times by 6 is 36. Keep everything in a nice straight line. And 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27. And that's where I'm going to write my 27. Next line, and this is what people always forget, is you put your 0 here. I'm just going to carry on in this red just so it stands out a bit differently. So why am I putting 0 there? Because you're now multiplying by this 1 here, but this is not a 1, it's actually a 10 if you think about it in the tens column. That's why everything has been multiplied by 10, i.e. that is why that 0 is there. So I'm now doing 1 times by the 0, and anything again times by 0 is 0. 1 times by 6, which is 6. 1 times by 4, which is 4. And then you add these two lines together. That little 3 there was just from the borrowing on the top line, so I don't need to add that. I'm just adding my bigger digits here. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 6 plus 0 is 6, 7 plus 6 is 13, 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So 7,360 pence. Let's see if we get the same result using a different method. Okay, so I use a slightly different method for multiplication. You may or may not know this method. And I draw a little grid like this. So I'm going to say 460 along the top and 16 down the side. And then each box has a little diagonal line like this. Every single individual box has a diagonal line. I'm just going to use a different colour to fill that in just so it stands out. And what I do here is I do 0 times 1, which is 0, because anything times 0 is 0. 0 times 6, again, anything times 0 is 0. 6 times 1, which is 6. I put no tens and 6 units here. 6 times 6 is 36. 4 times 1 is 4, no tens, 4 units. 4 times 6 is 24. And then you add along the diagonals. So I'll show you what I mean by that. You add along these diagonals. So this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal. Oops. A bit thicker. This diagonal. And this diagonal. Let's see what we get. So, just adding along that diagonal, it's just 0. We're not including the outside numbers here, just the ones I've highlighted in bright highlighter. 0 plus 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 6 plus 3 plus 4 is 13. You put a big 3 here and you carry a 1 to make it the 13. And then you add again here the 0 plus the 4 plus the 2 plus that little 1 that you've just brought forward, and you get 7 there. Make it a nice big 7 because that 1 now has done its purpose. You've got the 7. You don't need to think about that 1 anymore. And there's nothing there. So again, you get 7, 3, 6, 0, so 7,360 pence. And that's good because my answer there matches my answer there, so I know I've definitely got it right. Well done.